Today we're going to try a reading lesson, continuing with our Unit 7 in our CCC curriculum. Please give me feedback about how these lessons go and let me know if they work or not. Sorry about the headphones and things. It makes me feel pretty cool, like I'm a sports announcer or something. I also think the sound is better coming from this microphone than just with the computer. And it's hat day in my house. It's been hat day, spirit day pretty much every day. But that's the beauty of virtual learning, and I think we have to take advantage of all the positives that we can right now. So in this unit, we're going to be looking at expository nonfiction. And expository nonfiction gives us factual information about a topic. We've read a variety of expository nonfiction already this year. We've read Let's Think About Advertising, we've read about whales, and we just finished the Volcano Rising. So far, I hope you have learned that expository nonfiction gives us true information. You know that they have photographs, charts, maps, and other text features that help us understand what we are reading. And there's a table of contents that can give you an idea about what the whole story is about. Or not, it's not a story, what the whole book is about. And sometimes you do need to make inferences to figure out the cause and effects of what's happening in the book or with the information. Today we're going to hear and read an article from the news website CNN.com. The article is about a report released by Human Rights Watch, an organization that investigates and exposes human rights abuses around the world. And it's about the working conditions of children who labor or work in U.S. tobacco fields. So now I'm going to put that text up on the screen for you. So hopefully we're in here. It'll let me zoom in a little bit more so we can see. So here's the article. It gives us a picture here to kind of give us the idea of what they're doing. They're out in a field picking those tobacco leaves there. The title, Report Slams Child Labor in Tobacco Fields by Mariano Castillo, CNN, and it was written on Wednesday, May 14th, 2014. So this article is about 6 years old. So please read this along with me as I read it aloud to you. So first, let's just think about, from this title and the headings, what information do you think might be in this article? So let's look at some of the headings. We look over here. A cigarette maker responds. Children want to support their families. So what are some things you think we might learn about? I think we're going to learn about the children and how many hours and things they work in the tobacco field. We're going to learn about what the cigarette company says about those things when it says a cigarette maker responds. And then I think we're going to learn about the need for them the children to be helping their families. So please follow along as I read the article aloud. When I am finished reading this section, you're going to go to the next question in your Google form and give me an answer for that. So we're going to be over here. Children can't legally buy cigarettes in the U.S., but there are some who suffer the effects of nicotine exposure as they labor in U.S. tobacco fields. There is not an exact figure for how many children work in America's tobacco fields, but Human Rights Watch, HRW, interviewed nearly 150 children for a new report on the dangers these workers face. I would barely eat anything because I wouldn't get hungry, one child worker, Elena G., 13, told the Human Rights Group. Sometimes I felt like I needed to throw up. I felt like I was going to faint. I would stop and just hold myself up with the tobacco plant. Nearly 75% of the children interviewed reported similar symptoms. Just to throw some math in there, when they say 75%, that means if they were interviewing 100 kids, 75 of them, or 75 hundredths, which is 0.75 or 3/4 of them, reported these symptoms: nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, headaches, dizziness, irritation, and difficulty breathing. Many of these are symptoms of acute nicotine poisoning, HRW said, and nicotine is not the only danger. Exposure to pesticides from adjacent fields, that means they're next to each other, and accidents with sharp tools are also common, HRW's report said. Once they sprayed where we were working, we were cutting the flowers and the spray was right next to us in the part of the fields we had just finished working in. I couldn't breathe, Jocelyn R., 17, told HRW. I started sneezing a lot. The chemicals would overcome us. So now you're going to go back to the form and you're going to answer the question, what have you learned so far about the working conditions of child laborers in U.S. tobacco fields? Remember, when you're typing, you need to reread your typing to make sure you didn't make any errors. Remember that this is a great time to be focusing on our written language and to make sure we're still using punctuation and that you're not being too lazy and giving enough details about the things that you have learned so far.